Welcome back to another episode of Lakeshow's Finest Redux. I'm your host, Charles Ryan, KB24 status, or yours truly, the biggest Lakers fan in the world. The Los Angeles Lakers are one game away from reaching the NBA Finals. When I heard Ernie Johnson, the Inside the NBA host, say that phrase, it just felt so weird to hear, right? Like, it's been 10 years since we're in the finals, and just hearing NBA Finals Lakers, it was like, what? It just is weird, man. So, it's a crazy feeling after this win. Quite a game, man. So, what's interesting about this game was it was really tight, you know. It was back and forth, 12 to 8 to 5 to 3, back to 5, back to 10, blah, blah. And the Nuggets never led or tied, except for in the first 6 minutes. They got close, but we never let them take the lead through 3.5 quarters. That's incredible, man. Just stayed in control, sometimes barely. But quite a game to watch. Really fun to watch. There was so much crazy offensive highlights by Murray, by LeBron, AD in the first few minutes, making like 7 shots in a row or something like that. I think it was 7 shots, but he had like 10 points in 3 minutes. And they just kept going to him. But yeah, man, this was a great game. I'm so proud of this team. Because I had, that feeling of, are the Lakers going to just, freeze up in the final 3 minutes and do their usual not score a basket, not have a basket in like 4 minutes? And it never happened. And a lot of players played really well. Kuzma was awesome. Of course, Dwight was kicking butt. Speaking of Dwight, like, the rotations, I said this a few times the last few episodes, that I don't understand his rotations. You got to give a lot of props to Vogel for starting Dwight, which was clearly the right move. Because he really disrupted Jokic. I mean, Jokic only had 1 basket in the first half, something like that. And he only made 6 shots the whole entire game. But Dwight, He had a double-double at halftime. But I didn't get the rotation of not bringing him back in the fourth. And clearly it doesn't matter now because they won. It worked out. But I just thought that was interesting not bringing him back because he was playing so well. And he could have been useful for sure. But a lot of the see, this is the problem with these talking heads and commentators is sometimes the storyline gets floated out and it has to be the quote-unquote truth. Saying that the Lakers are best when Anthony Davis is the 5, that's obviously varies. It's not always going to happen. So it would have been interesting to see Dwight in there at the 5 and AD at the 4, and AD wouldn't have had to dealt with Jokic guarding him, which is fine. He can kick Jokic's butt, but it would have been guaranteed even more rebounds and offensive rebounds because there's a lot of loose rebounds at the end that most 50-50 rebounds we got lucky. But there's interesting thinking by Vogel. But yeah, I don't think JaVale is going to play anymore this whole entire series. He played it, I think, in the second quarter for I want to say 5 minutes. I can look real fast. Yeah, JaVale, he only played 5 minutes and he had zeros across the board except for 1 rebound. That's crazy. But yeah, man. I think JaVale's done for the series. I really do. Markieff Morris, instead of JaVale, and he came off the bench, and he was terrible. Awful. The worst thing about Markieff this game, his worst, I guess, sequence, was with 1 minute left, 1 minute and 30 left in the fourth. He commits an offensive foul, which I don't get why they're calling an offensive foul so late in the game. And the very next possession, he fouls Murray. He fouls out of the game, and he didn't have to foul Murray, and he gives him 2 free throws. It was just unnecessary. So that was really a big screw-up there. And critical minutes, really. But yeah, man. The Lakers had 25 second chance points this game. That's pretty unheard of. I mean, I don't know how often that happens, but we just kept getting rebound after rebound. We had 12 offensive rebounds this game. That's pretty damn good. Last game, we only had 25 rebounds the whole entire game, and I said, I don't know how that's even possible to have 25 rebounds in a game, averaging 6 rebounds a quarter. That's insane. But this game we played well. 41 rebounds. 12 offensive, man. So clean it up on the glass. We sure did. And a stat that was going around was the Lakers this year have never lost when they shot over 50%. And we did last game and we lost. Tonight, the Nuggets shot 50% and we shot 47% and we won. So there you go. Unlike last game, we made more than 6 threes. We made 10. That's awesome. We really needed those threes, and our free throws were decent. We were solid. It's funny that there was this report that the Lakers or Frank Vogel went to the league office to complain about LeBron only getting 2 free throws last game. Because LeBron, man, he takes quite a lot of hits. And I think last game he took 20-something shots. Well, I guess that worked, talking to the league office, because tonight LeBron had 14 free throws. And then after the game, Mike Malone was saying he didn't understand how they only had 23 free throws and we had 35. He was saying we should go, when Malone was saying we as the Nuggets should go through the proper channels and talk to the NBA like they did. It's funny. But it's true, man. LeBron, he averaged, I think, 7 free throws a game. And 2 is ridiculous. Man, there's so many plays where LeBron just gets smacked in the head and somehow the refs don't even see it. Maybe they think their arm is grazing the top of his head and not making contact, but he got his calls tonight. And he capitalized. He only missed 3 free throws. He was 11 for 14. And Anthony Davis, man, he kicked some ass. He really did. really did. It looks like the Miami Heat are going to win this their series. They're up 3-1 right now, and thanks to Tyler Hero having 37 points in Game 4. I really wanted to play the Celtics because, of course, that matchup is just historical and awesome. But once Gordon Hayward came back, I'm thinking maybe I don't want to play the Celtics, but I think the Celtics would be an easier matchup, but just more fun. But, the narrative's going to be, LeBron versus old team and old coach and all that. So that'll be great. And it looks like Andre Iguodala is going to go to his 6th straight NBA Finals. He went to 5 straight with the Warriors and now 6. That's the longest current streak in the league. LeBron had 8 straight NBA Finals before last year when, of course, we did not even make the playoffs. So I'm going to go through these stats real fast. We're going to start with the Los Angeles frickin' Lakers, the heavy favorites. The Lakers' biggest lead was 12, and that came in the second quarter. They were up by 11 in the third quarter. The Nuggets' biggest lead was 3, and that came with 3 minutes into the first quarter. We were tied once. And that one time being tied was in, 0-0. That must have been the only time they were tied. Maybe also, I'm looking at the little stat tracker thing. Maybe it was not 0-0. I think it might have been in the middle of the first quarter with 6 minutes left. But still, wire to wire, quote unquote, this game. There were 5 lead changes, and all of those lead changes came in the first quarter. In the first 4 minutes, 5 minutes. The longest run was 8, I believe, by the Nuggets. For some reason on NBA.com it doesn't say who it is. The Lakers, like I said before, had 41 rebounds. The Nuggets only had 33. We had 12 offensive rebounds. The Nuggets only had 6. 23 assists for us. 22 for the Nuggets. Lakers had 9 steals. We were all over the place once again. So many fast break opportunities this game. Lakers had 2 blocks. Nuggets had 3 blocks. Last game the Lakers I think had 20 turnovers, 18 turnovers. Tonight we only had 9. That's awesome, right? That's only 2 turnovers a quarter. The Nuggets had 11. Field goal percentage, 47%, 38 for 80 for the Lakers. The Nuggets, 39-77 for 50%. Both teams were pretty much identical from the three-point line. The Lakers were 10 for 30 for 33%, while the Nuggets were 10 for 28 for 35%. Free throws, we shot more, but our percentage was worse. The Lakers were 28 for 35. So we missed 7, and 4 of those were by LeBron and AD. Nuggets were 20 for 23, and they only missed 3 free throws for 87%. The individual stats we will get into now. LeBron James, greatest player in the world. 38 minutes, 26 points. Only shot 39% from the field, 7 of 18, 1 for 3 from 3, 11 for 14 from the free throw line for 78%, 9 rebounds, 8 assists. No turnovers, no steals, no blocks. Bravo. No turnovers for LeBron James in 38 minutes. He had 6 last game. They really tightened up there, and I love that, man. Just adjustments. The title of my podcast, last podcast. So LeBron was a +8. He almost had triple-double, 26, 9, and 8. Anthony Davis, 40 minutes, 34 points, 10 for 15 from the field for 66%. He needs to take more than 15 shots. He should take way more than that. Anthony Davis was also 1 for 3 from the three-point line like LeBron. He only missed one free throw, 13 for 14. He had 5 rebounds, 3 assists, 3 turnovers, 3 steals. So LeBron was 11 for 14 from the free throw line, right? He missed 3. But one of those he missed. He got the rebound and put it back in for 2. So you could say LeBron was 13 for 14 like Anthony Davis as well, which is kind of funny. A lot of identical stats here. Dwight Howard, man. the man of the night, the X Factor. 22 minutes, 12 points, 5 for 6 from the field, 83% from the 5 for 6 from the field for 83%, 2 for 3 from the free throw line. I love how he didn't fuck up on his free throws. He had 11 rebounds, 6 offensive rebounds. He had more offensive rebounds than defensive rebounds. 1 assist, 1 steal. +7. Danny Green. I don't know what's up with Danny Green. He had the best plus-minus in the game at +12. But still, I mean, he was 1 for 6 from the field for 3 points, 1 for 4 from 3 rebounds. I guess he's just a +12 because his defense. But he's kind of playing, because in my mind, I think Danny Green's a better defender than KCP. But they're giving KCP the assignment on Jamal. And I don't know if that's just because KCP's younger and, I don't know, fresher legs, whatever. But Danny Green only played 21 minutes, and KCP played 34 minutes. So they really wanted KCP on Jamal. And frankly, Jamal kind of lit him up, to be honest. KCP, though, offensively was awesome, man. 13 points, 5 for 12 from the field, 3 for 9 from 3, 2 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 turnover, 1 steal, and 1 block. +4. Kyle Kuzma. He only played 18 minutes this game. That's pretty low for him. But in the second quarter, he played really well. He had 10 points, shot 4 for 11 from the field, 2 for 7 from 3. Those 2 threes he made were awesome. They really were. 1 assist, 1 turnover, 1 steal for Kyle Kuzma. For a plus-minus of 0, his jersey number. Rondo played pretty well. 21 minutes for Rondo. That's a little bit low for him. 11 points, 5 rebounds, 7 assists, 1 turnover. Only 1 turnover for Rondo. Last game, LeBron James, Anthony Davis, and Rondo collectively had like 11 turnovers or something like that. That was definitely double digits. Tonight, only 4 between them. LeBron 0, 83, and Rondo 1. Rondo was a -9. He had the worst plus-minus on the team, which is strange. But I said this before, I don't think that stat matters. JaVale McGee, 5 minutes, 0s across the board, except for 1 rebound. Markieff Morris, 17 minutes, 2 points, 4 rebounds, 2 turnovers, and 2 steals. And he fouled out. So, also quickly, I don't even think we're ever going to play Dion Waiters or J.R. Smith ever again. I really don't. J.R. is suited up, but he's not going to get minutes. Dion's in street clothes, so I don't know if he's still injured or what. It was like his ankle that one game, like a series ago. But I don't think any of them are just going to play, period. And that's really, I don't know if that's a bad thing, but like, what was the point of bringing them in if you're not going to play them at all? I mean, Dion, I don't know, man. Dion seemed to play really well in the bubble games. He had a lot of great offensive moments, but I guess that's a lost cause. And most likely we will not bring back Dion or J.R. Smith next year. Maybe J.R. Smith because he's tight with LeBron, but, I mean, his career's over. Now to the Denver Nuggets, those pesky little bastards. Jeremy Grant played 42 minutes, most of those guarding LeBron and AD, man. He takes a beating every night, Jeremy Grant. Kind of reminds me of P.J. Tucker last series, that P.J. Tucker was just guarding AD, and it's like, what's he going to do? He's guarding JaVale. And P.J. Tucker was on the floor like every other possession. Jeremy Grant, 42 minutes, 17 points, 6 for 13 from the field. He only made 2 threes. Last game, I think he had like 4 or 5. 3 for 4 from the free throw line, 2 rebounds, 1 assist. The Nuggets had a lot of players in foul trouble. Millsap had 5 fouls. Jokic had 5 fouls. Torrey Craig had 5 fouls. He really didn't play at all. And Jeremy Grant had 4 fouls. And that was really evident in the fourth whenever Millsap or Jokic were getting attacked at the rim. They kind of just like backed off and didn't want to do anything. But Jokic played 35 minutes. Even though he was in foul trouble in the fourth, he's got to play more than 35 minutes, man. If you're going to run the offense for Jokic, he needs to play more. And he's just getting beaten up down there. He can't be getting blocked from Dwight and then come down and defending Anthony Davis, probably the best power forward in the league, so it's tough. But Jokic, 16 points, 7 rebounds, 4 assists, 1 turnover, 2 steals. Gary Harris, the most overrated player probably in the league. I don't know if many people know this. Maybe they do. Maybe Nuggets fans do. But Gary Harris, if you're not even aware who he is, man, this guy has robbed banks before because he has a crazy contract for the Nuggets. He used to be so much better. I don't know what the hell happened. He signed a 4-year, $84 million extension with the Nuggets a few years ago, and he has not lived up to it at all. He specializes from the 3-point line, and he was just awful. This whole series has been terrible. Listen to this. Gary Harris is due $19 million next year, and the year after that, $20 million, okay? The Nuggets really screwed that up, and there's no team option on the 4th year, so they're really handcuffed to this guy. And I guarantee you after his contract up, he's not going to get anything near that. He probably won't make $84 million the rest of his career, and he'll only be like 27 when his contract's up. But this guy was just awful, and he only made one shot, and that was that 1-3 in like the second quarter or something. And when he made it, he was like nodding his head like he's a legend and like saying, I got this. And then he was just terrible, man. Gary Harris is the biggest joke of a starting shooting guard, probably in the league. 3 points for him, 2 rebounds, 1 steal. Ineffective. Didn't do anything in 18 minutes. He only got 18 minutes, man. Every single person off the bench got more than 18 minutes, except for Mason Plumlee, who probably deserves not to play after the way he's been defending this whole series. Jamal Murray, big dog, 45 minutes. He only sat for 3 minutes. That's what Jokic needs, man, 40 plus. 45 minutes, 32 points, 12 for 20 from the field for 60%. He was 0 for 3 from the 3-point line, which is unbelievable. That usually never happens. 8 for 8 from the free throw line. 3 rebounds, 8 assists, 4 turnovers, 1 block. Torrey Craig, 19 minutes, 7 points, 2 rebounds, 1 assist, 2 blocks. Monte Morris, who's also been like really hyped up. Like he's really good off the bench. He only had 12 points. Make it seem like this guy's averaging 25 points a game off the bench. He only had 12 points in 27 minutes. So 0 for 2 from the 3-point line, 4 for 5 from the free throw line, 2 rebounds, 4 assists. Michael Porter Jr. And honestly, in my mind, Michael Porter Jr. played like trash. Like, I don't even remember him making a bucket until the 4th quarter. And I guess somehow he ended up with 13 points, 8 rebounds, 1 assist, 2 turnovers, and 1 steal. And last but not least, the Plumlee, my hero, who screwed up last game, Game 2's game winner, Mason Plumlee, man. 3 points in 13 minutes, 1 rebound, 1 turnover. That's all he did. And he was 1 for 2 from the free throw line. He made 1 bucket and 1 free throw. That's it. All right, so there's the stats. A couple other stats I did not mention. Sorry, my bad. Hold on. Okay. The Lakers had 17 fast break points, and the Nuggets had 9. The Lakers had 44 points in the paint, and the Nuggets had 46. The Nuggets committed 28 fouls. The Lakers committed 25. And those were the stats I missed. Sorry, I did not say those. That will not happen in the future. Charles Barkley in the postgame was saying this is one of the worst officiated games he's ever seen. I mean, I kind of get that. I mean, but I don't know, man. The better team won this game. I don't think the officials really affected it that much. Some really blatant calls weren't called at all. Like, Caruso got hit in the face, LeBron got hit in the head sometimes, and they weren't called at all. And then, maybe there's, makeup calls for it after. But I don't agree with that. So yeah, man, Game 5, Saturday. They have to close this out. They really do. There's no reason in the whole entire world why they can't close this out and get some rest. I think if they win Saturday, they'll have at least like 3 or 4 days of rest. I think the finals is supposed to start the 30th. I could be wrong about that because I don't think that makes sense. Because the Lakers could potentially play till the 30th. I'm going to look that up right now real fast. But, they just need to do this and get rest. I'm actually looking right now. Yeah, it says the NBA Finals are September 30th. I don't know how, that doesn't even make sense. Because the 26th, the Lakers play Game 5. The 28th is Game 6. And the 30th is Game 7. So that's not even possible. If it goes to 7, that would not happen. So they're going to have to push that back. But whatever it is, I'm pulling for the Celtics to win Game 5. And I truly think the Celtics will win Game 5. Because I don't think I'm going to let Hero go off for 37. But we need that, man. We need to tire these guys out. Give us some good juju, Celtics. Come on. All right. That's the podcast. Thank you so much for listening. I really appreciate it. Once again, I posted several Kobe tributes since unfortunately he passed, and I put them all in a playlist. I only have 6 playlists on my channel, and the majority of them are Laker playlists. One of them is actually a Magic Johnson playlist where he's explaining why he left the Lakers on ESPN's First Take, and they're all hilarious because Magic just comes off as a complete doofus. But there's this one playlist called Kobe Tributes, and there's about 20 Kobe tributes in there, all Kobe. One of them is actually my room video. I have a man cave room video, and I guess that is a form of a Kobe tribute, considering I have a bunch of Kobe stuff. But yeah, man, that's the podcast. Let's go Lakers on Saturday night. We got this. Take care. And also, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. Please. Because I post content after every game. Every game. If you have any questions, you can comment on the videos. And please like the videos. But I like to be interactive. I have my media stuff on there, like my Twitter and Instagram and stuff, I think, up there, and Snapchat, I think. So if you want to ever talk, or I have my email, I think, too, for business opportunities up there. But yeah, hit me up, because I love interacting with the audience, because you guys are the reason why I do it. And I don't know why the views have gone down, but it's okay. I'm going to stick with it no matter what. I could have 0 views on all my videos. I'd still do it. Just to show consistency. All right, take care and go Lakers. Peace.
Kobe Bryant, I've been expecting you. My career is done, Your Grace, and I have failed in my quest to win as many rings as you. Rings are merely jewelry. Even Robert Ory has 7. And MVPs, they are only letters. They do not matter. So what does matter? Making a weird face when you cry at your Hall of Fame speech. Kobe Bryant, you're like a younger brother to me, I'm humbled, Your Grace. Show me your rings. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And the other hand? The other hand has no rings.